Well, I'm delighted to be here to share this material with you. This course has been long in the making, actually years and years of putting the pieces together, and I'm delighted to have the chance to present how it's come together for me. Hopefully it helps you with bringing the pieces together for you as well. The information about attachment is just scattered all over the empirical universe. All kinds of bits and pieces in esoteric theories, in neuroscience, in physical sciences, just all over the place. And to this date, at least, we still do not have a comprehensive, coherent model of attachment that can be applied across all venues, across the lifespan. And in marriage, individual treatment, of course, my particular bent and gist of this course will be in terms of working with children, or raising children, teaching children, but working with children and families. This course was primarily designed for helping professionals, practitioners who really needed a comprehensive model of attachment to work from. So it's, I have a neuroses that makes me particularly suited to the endeavor of putting pieces together. And so I hope you can benefit from my neuroses, and that I can make a contribution to the field. That's my hope. I often get asked about research, about the research in terms of theory. And there's quite a bit of confusion about research. Theories actually cannot be proven, only disproven. That is, a theory is based upon its power to explain and its power to predict. And so it is, if it can explain phenomena that otherwise could not be explained, if it can predict certain things, then it is considered a good theory. And a theory is also a good theory if there is no conflicting evidence. And that is the part. If there is an absence of conflicting evidence, in this case I can attest to it, and all the years I've been working at this, I have yet to see one piece of research in which there is any conflicting evidence. A good model also has, a good theory and a good model also has very clear implications for practice. And you'll see that this model does have very clear implications for practice. Of course, practices can be tested and should be tested. And so the first way of testing it has to do with whether it makes sense of the children in your care, your charges, your children, those that you're responsible for, work with, and I welcome you to test this. This is the best way to take the course, is as you take the course, have a child or two in mind, and see if this makes sense to them from inside out. And of course, if you have the opportunity, if you're doing master's thesis and so on in research, you're most welcome to test these practices as well. I will actually talk about eight practices that derive from this theory. I often get asked, what does attachment practice look like? By the end of this course, you should have a very good idea of 8 foundational practices that are absolutely flow from the theory, from the model. Now, those taking the course will have varied exposure to both my material and to the attachment literature, as well as to the classical literature in psychology. There should not be a problem. That is, you do not have to have previous exposure to be able to understand this course. This course is designed to be able to come at it as a first time exposed to both my material and to the literature. Should you have previous exposure in that, I would hope and assume, I would hope that it's simply more enjoyable for you, so that you can see where it's embedded. So that is my hope. This is actually my life's work, is putting pieces together. It's what I do. And the developmental approach is a comprehensive approach. It's even when I began fresh out of university, a PhD, I began trying to put the pieces together. And this attachment piece is one large piece of it. In session 4, we'll take a look at just how it fits together in the big picture. Many attachment theorists do not embed their theory in a larger developmental perspective. I will attempt to do this because a comprehensive theory has to do this. We don't attach simply for attachment's sake. Attachment has to serve a purpose. What purpose does it serve? What is its function? And we'll start that right away in our first session. Now, I am a theorist at heart, not a presenter. I much prefer to be in my cave, putting pieces together, than up here in front of cameras and with people presenting it. So bear with me as I struggle to put into words the pictures that I see, the things that have come together for me as a result of 30, 40 years of doing this. The organization of the course is in 8 sessions, and we'll begin where we should begin, is with the construct of attachment. What the term attachment, the construct of attachment. We need to define it. We need to distill it to the essence. And I've chosen the elephant as my picture for this particular session. And I have also chosen the subtitle, Naming the Elephant in the Room. This elephant was particularly uncooperative. I couldn't get it into the room when I was taking its picture. So, not that I was taking its picture, but it's the best one I could come up with. And there is a story about an elephant that I want to tell you, a very relevant story, in just a minute. But first of all, what does an elephant stand for? It stands for something enormous, of course, something gigantic, say that right? Something huge, something too big to take in all at once. And of course, attachment is that. Attachment is absolutely enormous as an idea. The idea really is about togetherness. The idea really is about relationship. And you think about relationship, you think about togetherness, and you think, oh my goodness, you know, what isn't incorporated in that? Like that is what it is about. And attachment is actually the science of relationship. Many people don't realize that. I still get today people say, well, I don't know about this attachment thing. I don't know if I believe in attachment. Do you have any relationships? You know, and say it's huge. It's where we live. It is us. It's enormous. And so one is its enormity. Secondly, the elephant in the room, of course, connotes something that impacts everyone, and yet no one puts it into words. And that is exactly the issue. Attachment is so close that we have not had words. And when we don't have words, we don't bring it into consciousness. When we don't bring it into consciousness, we can't develop a science around us. And that's exactly where we start. We start with something that was big, enormous, lots of ideas about togetherness, lots of ideas about the social nature of humans, lots of ideas about relationship, lots of theories about it, but no words, no terminology, and so that's where we begin. Now, the story I want to tell you is a story that is in attachment circles, rather in Gestalt circles, told in Gestalt circles, and it's about six blind sages. The story is set in India, and these blind sages, 6 wise blind individuals, encounter an elephant for the very first time. And I love the story as it's told in one of my favorite books, Maps of the Mind by Charles Hampton Turner, a beautiful overview of developmental theories. And he has a beautiful description of this. And so we look at this elephant, and we encounter it. And as the poetry goes on, We find that the first one discovers that the elephant is like a rope. The second one like a spear. The third one like a snake. The fourth like a tree. I think I got those two mixed up. The fifth one like a fan. And the sixth like a wall. And so on and so on. Now, all are partly right, but yet all are wrong.